power to do
I run through that place like a maniac.
I never fucking wrote down a list in life. I don't know. He has to chop the vegetables when he gets home and this and that. But he's a sad hermit because he's scared of confrontation. He would never, ever stand up for his wife in public. If somebody slapped his wife's ass at the bar, he would do fucking nothing. He would probably watch as his wife gets fucked in the alleyway by a black bull. Let's be fucking real. This guy, that's why he doesn't go outside. He's
afraid his wife's going to get banged by a black dude? What?
He got down on his fucking knees at the Street Fighter tournament and begged this guy not to whoop his fucking ass. And tears came from his eyes and he said he was a fucking alcoholic. And then we wonder why he won't bring me on to confront him tonight. It's because he's scared. It's because he's spineless. It's because he's a cockroach. He's a fucking worm. And he's afraid of anybody that is any sort of a man, that has any sort of a masculine presence. He doesn't know how to behave in a friend group or a setting because this guy has never had any friends. Let's be real. It was always super awkward when we brought him on with me and Andy because he's never been a part of a male friend group. And he views anybody who is his friend as a means to an end. It's not somebody that he genuinely cares about. To him, people are tools. John Rambo was a tool. Howard was a tool to him.
You use everybody, yeah.
I was a tool to him as well. He didn't genuinely care about me or anything. By the way, this guy, I was so desperate to get him out of the house, you know? And I'll just be open and honest about this, and a lot of people will judge me for what I'm about to say. But I offered to pay this guy's flight and his wife's flight to Florida for the Super Bowl so that we could hang out in Florida. We were all going to fly down together. I offered to pay for the pet sitter for his pets. I offered to pay for his wife's ticket, his ticket, give them 2-3 days alone so they could have the honeymoon they never fucking had. He turned it down because he had to take care of his cat.
He couldn't leave the cat with a stranger, P. Come on.
It would be a traumatic experience for him. And
I'm just putting this out there, just letting you know, my kids really want to go to Disneyland, you know. I'm just saying.
And if we went into the DMs, I have receipts of all of that. I pleaded with him. Every excuse that he ever made, every objection.
Yeah, and you just wanted to get him out of the house and do something nice for him as a friend. Like, here, I'll pay for your honeymoon that you never gave your wife.
Because
you're a good guy, Pete.
I want him to get out of the house. He has to get out of that house. And it's not like I'm a guy who every day I'm out there touching grass and I'm, like I'm a pale, fat man. But I leave the house a hell of a lot more than he does.
That's pretty sad.
And I have friends, I have family that I'm around, that I interact with.
Yeah, you got to socialize as a human.
He has no family out there. He's stranded on the West Coast. He's told me he has no friends. He's been out there for almost a decade.
Well, no wonder he has no friends. Look what you tried to be a friend to him, and look what he did. He took and took and took. And I get the impression that he was feeling like he didn't want to do another one of those Grill Phil segments like you gave him last week. But that was for those that don't know too. Like, that was not P being like nasty. When you're a true friend will tell you things you don't want to hear, because you need to hear it. You try to be a true friend to him and help him and say the things that a real friend would say. A real friend will check you when you need to be checked.
This is what it comes down to for Phil, is that I don't think he has received like real criticism from somebody that he actually can respect and trust, because he's like, well, these are detractors, these are trolls. How do I know what criticism is real, what I need to actually improve? I understand that. And so I gave him the advice that I think would actually turn his life around. Go out more with his wife. Take more time off from shows. Ultimately, the guy is doing 8 hours of streaming 6 days a week, never goes out with his wife, never does anything fun. He's a total shut-in, total hermit, no friends, and it's just no way to live. And he lives in fear. He lives in fear of the world. And,
he's got all those cameras around his house. That's paranoid, delusional, The police called him a 220. Like, he's a mental case.
Well, he is a mental case, you know? And now, generally, he's kind of almost a harmless mental case, you know? And this is why it's like I kind of wanted to help the guy because I feel like generally, like he's not the most evil, malignant scumbag on earth, at least at first impression. But
Yeah, he can come off as a little bit likable.
Well,
And
I
a
don't know.
little
I don't
bit
know if he's
charismatic.
really. I don't know if he's likable or charismatic. I'm saying he's not like a revenge pornographer like Ralph. He's not like a wife beater that we know of. He's not like
X and Hammer.
he's
Yeah,
not like a pedophile or a
that we know
rapist.
of.
Like this is a very low bar I'm setting, and so
Yeah.
like, I don't understand why everybody hates this guy so much. Yes, he begs. Yes, the begging is annoying. It's exhausting. It's ridiculous. But, you know, there's a lot of people with goals nowadays. There's a lot of people e-bagging. There's no real way to explain why Phil is such a deplorable and detestable person. You must actually experience it firsthand. And I experienced it firsthand. When you watch his show every day and you keep up with the vortex and the people that are in it and the way that he interacts with it, only truly then can you actually know why he's such a deplorable piece of shit that deserves to die. Only then can you really know. Because, like, why do people want this guy to die? I don't get it. Well, in the last couple weeks, it finally really was driven home to me as to why motherfuckers hate this guy. Because he just never, ever will change his ways. He's ungrateful for everything he gets. He's negative. He's pessimistic. He's draining. He's soulless. He doesn't care. All he cares about is getting a paycheck and protecting his fragile, narcissistic ego. And that's it. And he doesn't care about friends. He doesn't care about family. He doesn't care about having ambitions or goals outside of money. And the money that he does have, he doesn't use it to travel the world. He doesn't use it to go to